Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Mikayla x Glamlite palette. Now, if you're not familiar with who Mikayla is, she is an absolutely phenomenal makeup artist. She has a ton of followers on TikTok, Instagram. I think she's on YouTube. I'm not 100% certain. I follow her mainly on TikTok, but she does some of the best looks I've ever seen. So she did a collaboration with Glamlite, and this is a 30 shade eyeshadow palette that retails for $42. Now on Glamlite's website, you can pre-order this. This is cruelty-free, vegan, and allergy tested. I love this packaging, but isn't that pretty? So we're gonna start off by swatching her, and then we're gonna do some looks, because 30 shades definitely, to me, says we need to do some extra looks, which is fine by me because, you know, I love Glamlite's formula. So I'm excited to see what this entails. So first thing up is a shade called Harley, which is a cool tone nude. Then we have How You Doing, which is another cool tone nude, but a little bit deeper. Then we have Gemini, which is a warm tone nude. Okay. Then we have What's Poppin', which is a warm gold. Hot Cocoa, which to me is like a Texas orange. Willow, which is a deep plummy brown. So pretty, so pretty. Then we have the shade Glow Up. Oh, that's a pretty color. So there's Glow Up. Simba, which is a coral. Glow Up is like one of the rose gold with gold glitters in it, and Simba is a coral. Then we have Accent, which is more of like a bronzy gold. Buffalo Chicken, which is more like a tangerine orange. There we go. Then we have the shade Manifest. Ooh, that's really pretty. So Manifest is like that lavender silver shade. That is a gorgeous color. And then we have Cookie, which is a brown shimmer. Next up we have the shade Iconic, which is a carnation pink. Simping, which is a baby pink shimmer. Immaculate, which is a blue purple shimmer, so you can kind of see it's a little shifty. Okay, then we have MJ, which is, to me, that's not really a lavender, that's more like a lilac. New Beige, which is a purple shimmer. So pretty. Nas, ooh, that's really pretty. That's like a silvery blue. That's so pretty. You're gonna hear me say that's so pretty a lot. And there's a lot of purples in this palette, which does not bother me in the least. So now we're gonna swatch another row. Then we have the Best Color, which is like a mint green. Bonehead, ooh, that's really pretty. That green shimmer, ooh. Stunning, right there. Portuguese, which is another purple shimmer. And you see how beautiful these shimmers are? Like, I wish I could show, like, you can see. They have so much sparkle and they're so shiny. Man, oh man. This is a beautiful, beautiful color palette. And it's prettier in person. And I kind of felt that there was a little bit, next up is part 2, which is like an orchid purple. Roddy, which is like a sky blue. Audrey, this is a beautiful color. But what I was saying is I thought there was some disconnect between the top and the bottom, but the more I look at it, there's like, I don't know if we needed all the neutrals because, you know, all of us have neutrals 10,000 times over, but I still think that they're beautiful. Then we have Freetown. Loop. Ooh, I love that color. Handy. I have to let Rupi know if that's a good yellow. Then we have the shade Frisky. This is a beautiful warm purple. I love that color. Warm purple is one of the, well, purple in general. I love purple eyeshadow. Well, I love any color of eyeshadow. Let's not get it twisted. But purple is a fun. And then last but not least is the shade Mass Hole. So this is all 30 colors. So, so pretty. Now, is there overlap with other Glamlite palettes? I'm sure that there is. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that there's some overlap. Whenever you're talking about 30 colors, there's going to be. But I do love Glamlite's formula. I love their shimmers. And this is supposed to be an updated formula, so I am excited to try this. So I think what we're gonna go with first, I think I wanna do more of like a orangey, corally look today. You know, those are the colors I'm feeling. It's hot outside, I went to the beach. I got tan, which, I mean, I was already tan, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I think the first shade I'm going to go into is, this is a ColourPop E15, and I'm gonna go into the shade Harley, which was the first cool tone neutral matte in the palette, just to kind of set down my eyeshadow base. And sometimes I set it, sometimes I don't. A lot of times I do it more when I have like a neutral look instead of like a super colorful one. But these, so far, from what I could tell, the mattes and things like that definitely feel like the traditional Glamlite formula, that nice, soft, blendable matte, which I love. But yeah, this is such a pretty palette. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab a Lunar Beauty LB2 and we're gonna go into that coral shade called Simba. Oh, see how pretty that's applying? But yeah. I have a lot of palettes from Glamlite and they have beautiful, beautiful quality eyeshadow. Some of my favorites. If y'all can hear the train, I am so sorry, but we'll try to edit it down. My goodness, they are loud today. It's like, if it's not one thing, it's another. But see how pretty that Simba shade is? How nice it's blending out. It's just a beautiful color. Now, one thing I will say that I feel like is lacking just a little bit is, in this color palette for what I like, is a bright inner corner shade. But, you know, I can make a lot of these colors that are in here work for that. But you see how easily that just blended out? I mean, that took no effort whatsoever. I need 2 clean brushes like nobody's business. So I'm going over the edge with the ColourPop that had that shade Harley on it. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna use the same brush, the LB2, and we're gonna go into that shade Buffalo Chicken, which is the more orangey shade. Yeah, you see how that's bringing a little bit more orange into the look? And we're gonna apply that towards the outer half of the eye. Beautiful, beautiful shadow. Okay, next up, let's get a smaller brush. Okay, so this is a BK Beauty 206, and I'm gonna go into the shade right here. I don't know why I haven't been holding it up, Hot Cocoa. So we can start adding a little bit more depth to the outside. But you can see how pretty and easily these are performing, which is always important. But you see what I'm saying? Like when you go in small sections and do a little at a time, it goes pretty far. I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm gonna go into Willow for the very outer corner to add some depth, because I prefer a good smoky eye. My preference. See how easily those are blending though? And this is a palette that you can see that there is some fallout, but it's not the most fallout that I have seen. Definitely not the most I've seen from an eyeshadow palette. So now we're just going to blend those very easily up and out. But yeah, to me, there's nothing better than a good eyeshadow palette. Like, I don't know. I feel like eyeshadow's the icing on the cake for me. I'm gonna take my Lunar Beauty LB3 and going back into that Coral Simba shade just to make sure we're still looking coral towards the front. See how that just re-intensified everything? But yeah, no, I love eyeshadow. It's the icing on the cake for me. You know, you can have all the other ingredients for your cake, but whenever you're missing the icing, then it's just a fancy bread. And I like bread, but I like cake better. Okay, that looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love how this is easily blending out. I love the coral. Okay, so now let's do some color on the lid. Wipe off this brush. This is a Kaleidos S4. This is a great brush for adding shimmer. Now I'm going to take the NYX glitter glue. We're gonna apply it all over the lid because we're gonna play with some more colors. And this is only the first look. I think I'm gonna do 3 looks with this palette because I feel like 3 looks is a good amount for 30 shades. But man, oh man. So I've said this 1,000 times, but I always repeat it. I always use glitter glue with my shimmers. As you can see, my eyelids are no longer perfectly even and smooth. Yay. The fun of getting older. I'm gonna take this brush and go into the shade Cookie. And we're going to apply Cookie to the outer half of the eyelid. I figured that would be a good bronzy moment. But yeah, I figured 3 looks would be good to start with this palette. But Glamlite, as I said, they have an amazing, amazing formula. And more people, I wish, need to try this because they really do have a beautifully unique formula too. Compared to a lot of brands, like you still have those wet looking shimmers that are some of my favorites to deal with, but it's also, I'm gonna take, this is the BK Beauty 206 and just gonna go over where I applied just to make sure everything's nice and blended. Where I applied Cookie, that's pretty. But yeah. That's so pretty. Okay, let me wipe that off. And I think I'm going to go into the shade Accent, which is that lighter gold. But yeah, I feel like this palette can definitely pull off a variety of looks, which I think is part of the fun of it. You know, especially if you're going to do a big palette. I do prefer that if you're going to do a big palette, give me lots of options with it. Like, don't make it too monochromatic. It just doesn't work for me that way. Isn't that so pretty? I love how that looks on there. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I think that that is so, so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with that Color Pop brush just to make sure everything's nice and smooth and blended, which is something I always go back and do. Okay, So here's the top of the eyes done for the first look. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face. We'll come back and do the lower lash line. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the Benefit Cheek Stars palette for blush, bronzer, and highlight. So I've got the Hoola bronzer on, the Sugar Bomb blush, and then the Cookie highlight. I think it looks super duper cute. On my lips, I have Sugar Pills Trinket. This is a beautiful, beautiful nude lippy. And then for my waterline, I am using the BFF Gel Cream Eyeliner in Bay Breeze in my waterline. Okay, so let's finish off this look. So I think what I'm going to go into is I'm gonna take this as a Sigma E27 blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the handy shade, which is that yellow. And we're going to apply the yellow under my eye. I just think it'll be something a little bit different, add a little bit of pop of color, you know, because why not? I'm trying to remember how many colors I've used. I'm trying to use quite a few while I'm testing, you know. But look, how cute. I love this palette. And the yellow actually shows, and that's considering that it is under the eye. That's not the worst. So I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors so far. I'm going to take and grab my BK Beauty brush, and we're gonna go back into that shade Willow, which is that deepest brown. And as you can see, I'm not bringing it all the way in. I'm just bringing it on the outside corner. You see how that kind of helps lift the eye almost, but it also helps that yellow blend in. So that's what we're doing. Okay. So far, I am loving, loving this look. So I'm gonna take, this is a ColourPop E19, and I'm gonna go into the shade Glow Up, which looks like this on the brush, which we're gonna use as the inner corner highlight. Very pretty color. So pretty. Okie dokie. So this is what look one with the Mikayla palette. We'll come back tomorrow and do another. So I'm back to do another look with the Mikayla palette. So I think what I'm gonna go into first, this is a Cleona brush. There's no name on it. We're gonna go into this shade right here, which is Roddy. Beautiful blue shade. I think I'm gonna do like a purple blue look, which isn't something super unique for me, but you know, we're gonna have some fun with it. Now I did take and prime my eyes again with the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base in light. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying this palette a whole lot. I think that the quality on it is phenomenal. See how pretty that is? Just the easiest color to put down. Now I need something a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is a Nabla N306, and we're gonna go into the shade right here, which is MJ. I'm gonna apply it on this back half of our eyes. See how pretty that is? Man, oh man. They're so pretty. And I mean, it just blends out like a dream. I really do enjoy Glamlite's formula. And I can't wait to see what else they come out with. Because they, I mean, like as I said, a lot of people don't like the food stuff. I don't mind food theme. I'm not the biggest fan of wonky packaging, but you know, I will deal with what needs to be dealt with. So that way I can have a beautiful eye look. And these are really, really stinking pretty. So you see, I mean, just again, and those colors blend together perfectly. So now I'm gonna go back into Roddy, apply a little bit more to the front half of our eye. Now I'm gonna take, this is a BK Beauty 203, so it's like a little dense brush. And I'm gonna take and go into this shade right here, which says Mass Hole. So it's the brighter blue to add a little bit more depth to my crease. There is a fly in here that is driving me nuts. So just to add, see how that's just adding a little bit more depth to the front? Nothing major. Pretty easy, again, easy colors to work with. So cute. Okay, now I'm gonna take another, this is a BK Beauty 206, and I'm gonna go into the shade right here, which is Part 2. And we're gonna use that to deepen up the purple side. But you see, these are definitely shadows. I do recommend that you use, like, do your face first. In my personal opinion, that's the best way to work with these. But I think that the quality and everything like that for these is so good. So good. But yeah, I mean, you see how easy that is going on? Looks good. Okay, so I need something smaller. So I'm gonna grab, this is one of the Beetlejuice brushes from Melt. I don't see a number on it. So I'm gonna use this, see how it's kind of tiny and dense? We're gonna go into Frisky, just to use to deepen up the outer corner a little bit more with the purple. But you can see it picks up beautifully on the brush. Beautiful, beautiful. But I mean, these perform, again, that's what you want to see from eyeshadows, or at least I do. I want my eyeshadow to perform. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Noblet in 306 and we're going to go back into MJ, which is that lavender. And I'm just going over the edges to make sure, because I want that lavender to show quite a bit. Like, to me, I want the depth, but I do want the softness and brightness with this eye look. And then I'm going to do the same thing again with the Cleona brush with the shade Roddy up front, just to make sure that everything looks nice and blended together. See how pretty that is? Man, oh man. We love that. Okay, so now I'm going to take my NYX glitter glue, apply it on the lid. Okay. Now I'm going to take, this is a Sigma E55 shader brush. I'm going to take and pat out my glitter glue. So pretty. But yeah, this keeps the shimmers in place. I cannot go without a glitter glue. I think I'm gonna, like, my hair's starting to drive me nuts. I think I'm gonna cut my hair off pretty short. We're gonna see. What do y'all think? I get bored. I change my style quite a bit. Like, I don't know. Oh, that's so pretty. This is the shade Portuguese, which is that deepest purple shimmer. See what it looks like. So I just got to decide on what I want to do. I think I might do like a short shag. I don't know yet. Okay, so that looks good. I'm gonna take my brush, the melt one that I used for the deepest purple, and go over my edges, because again, this is something I do every single time I do an eye look. For some reason, it just really, well, not some reason, like I know that this really does kind of help with eye looks, just to make sure everything's blended. Okay, so I'm gonna take and wipe that brush off, and then I'm going to go into the shade Audrey, which is that tealy blue. Look how pretty. I think that'll look beautiful on the front half of the eye. And yeah, oh yeah, that definitely, look how much that draws everything together. Like, these are so stinking stunning. It's not even funny. It just doesn't get much better than that, does it? Plus, I love how sparkly these are. Like, I like a good foiled shade, but I really like something that has a little bit more oomph in it, I guess. Something with a little bit more sparkle. See how pretty though? Like, you can even see that on camera, how sparkly that is. Okay, so this is the tops of the eyes done. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face. We'll come back and do the lower lash line. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the ColourPop BFF Gel Cream Eyeliner in Plum Smash in my waterline. I used the Pat McGrath Divine Lip Gloss in Divine Rose. Isn't that pretty? And then for blush, bronzer, and highlight, I used the Glowish Tan Light by Huda, the Odin's Eye Norns Spring of Life highlighter, and then I used the Moira blush in Soft Berry. So far I am loving this look. Like, I think it goes so well with my earrings and everything else. So we're gonna finish out this eye look. So I'm gonna grab, this is a denser brush. This is a ColourPop E15. And we're gonna go into the shade right here, which is called New Beige. So even though that is a shimmer, it's not their super shimmery formula. So I think that'll work just fine under the eye. So as you can see, I'm just applying that all under the eyes. I love this look so far. I really do. I love how everything's kind of coming together with it too. I'm gonna use the Nabla brush that had that light lavender MJ on it and go under the edges just to make sure everything is blended and really blown out. You see how far down that's kind of going? It's like definitely a little on the edgier side. It's almost like I got purple bags, which is fine because I like having purple bags. You know, if I'm gonna choose one, that's what I would choose. But yeah, so far, so good. Now let's apply something to the inner corner. So I'm gonna grab, this is a Lunar Beauty LB7, and we're gonna go into the shade Naz, which, oh, so pretty. Oh, look at that. Like, that is gorgeous. It looks so different with, depending on what you pair this with. I think this is one of my favorite shades in the palette, honestly. So there we go. Okay, this is look number 2. What do you think? I think it's gorgeous. So we'll come back tomorrow and do our third and final look. So I'm back to do another look with the Glamlite Mikayla Jade, or Mikayla palette. I don't know, Mikayla J. I was watching her on TikTok this morning. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the Sigma E27 I used yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? With the shade Handy, because I'm going to start with that shade. Now I did already take and prime my eyes with the NARS smudge proof eyeshadow primer. You know, it's kind of a normal thing for me. That's such a good yellow. I like that yellow. So I'm just applying that to the front portion of my eye, making sure to get into my wrinkles. There we go. Okay. Now I need something else. Okay, I'm gonna grab, this is a Lunar Beauty LB3. We're gonna go into the shade Loop, which is that grungy green color. And we're going to apply that pretty much to the rest of the eye. That is a beautiful color too. I love green eyeshadow so much. So much. And these perform so well. I don't know what they're doing outside, so if you hear the construction, there's not much I can do about it. I wish I could. See how pretty that is? Man, oh man. Okay. So I like how the green looks. And now I'm gonna take, this is a BK Beauty 202, which is one of my favorite brushes to get into places. And I'm gonna go into this deepest teal, which is called Freetown, because I wanna deepen up the outer corner. And I figure that would be a good shade to go into. It'll blend with the green and it will blend with the rest of the eye look. There's something, I love a good green, yellow, tealish blue kind of eye look. Like, I don't know. You see how easily that is just blending out? Very, very easy. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? That's what I'm saying. Like, these shades in here, if you've never tried Glamlite, you need to. Now, if this isn't the palette for you, that's fine. But I definitely recommend trying it out. So I'm going back into the shade Loop, which is the green, and going over and making sure everything's blended. My husband's tackle box for fishing is in these kind of colors, and that's all I can think about right now. Is like, I look like my husband's tackle box. There we go. Okay, so I like the mattes looking like that. So let's go ahead and do a shimmer. This is the NYX Glitter Glue. No need to harp on it. I talk about it all the stinking time. I don't know what happened, but the camera stopped, so I'm just patting out the glitter glue. There we go. Now, first color I'm gonna go into is the shade Audrey, which is that deep blue shimmer. And we're going to apply that to the outer corner of the eye. Such a pretty color. Such a beautiful color. Like, and I worked out in these last night and they didn't go anywhere at all. So that should tell you something. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Bonehead, which is that green, and we're going to apply that in the middle. Guess I should bend my, so I can get into the crevice. The fun of getting old. You know, no one ever tells you. I mean, well, I guess they do. You just don't ever listen. But see how pretty that looks? I love this color story. Love it. Okay, now I'm gonna wipe that off one more time, and I'm gonna go into the shade Stunnin', which is that lightest green yellow, and we're going to apply that towards the front of the eye. Look how beautiful. I mean, no matter what you think of everything else, these shimmers are amazing. Amazing. Like, they're just gorgeous. And I love this look. I love this look so much. It's not even funny. Okay, so now I'm gonna take and go back into Freetown, which is that deepest teal, and we're gonna go over the edge down here just to make sure everything's blended. There we go, both sides. Very easy. Now I'm gonna grab my Lunar Beauty LB3, and we're gonna go over our middle portion and the edges over here. There we go. And last but not least, we're gonna go into Handy, which is that yellow shade, and we're going to make sure the front looks good. So, there we go. That is the top of this eye look done. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face. We'll come back and give our final thoughts on this. I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the Pat McGrath Divine Temptation Lust Gloss on my lips. I used the Glowish by Huda Beauty Tan No. 3 bronzer. For blush, I used the Pat McGrath Lab Skin Fetish Blush in Nude Venus. And then for highlight, I used the Makeup by Mario Soft Glow Highlighter in Honey. Like, my skin, I feel like, looks super good today. And I used the Hydromaniac tint. I'm really loving how this all came out. And then in my waterline, I used the Spare Time liner, and this was the part of the collab with ColourPop and Raw Beauty Christy. Okay, so first thing I need to do is I need to apply my eyeshadow under my eyes. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go into the shade Handy, and I'm going to pretty much, I think I'm gonna reverse the top on the bottom. I think will be cute. Which, you know, I love this color scheme. I absolutely love this color scheme. I think it's turning out so beautiful. Next, we're gonna go into Loop. So pretty. Okay. And then last but not least is Freetown. And I'm just using the same brushes I used on the top, on the bottom. Okay. Going in lightly with it. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm gonna grab my, that's not my powder brush, it's my bronzer brush. That would be amazing to put under your eyes. And kind of going over the edges with my powder brush just to make sure everything is blended. Okay, now for the inner corner, we're gonna use a tiny little brush, and we're gonna stay with what I used on the lid, and we're gonna just use that in the inner corner. I think that that's going to be the best solution. So we're gonna go into Stunnin' and wrap that around. See how much of an impact that makes? I love, love, love how that looks. There we go. Okay, so this is the completed third and final look using the Glamlite and Mikayla palette. I love this palette. I think it's phenomenal. The color story in here is gorgeous. The shimmers are amazing. The mattes performed well. I am loving this. I think it's a great palette. If you're looking for this color story or you like Mikayla, you know, if you're interested in it and you can afford it, get it. I definitely approve, and I'm super happy that I have it in my collection. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is typically every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I guess that's it, so we'll see y'all later. Bye.